Nope, that never gets old. Hey everyone, it's Mark. I'm here to help you put more money in your pocket through credit cards and smart financial habits. If that sounds good to you, then do me a quick favor and click on the like and subscribe button down below. Also, check out the links down below in the description area to view some great credit card offers, to earn some additional cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, and to sign up for MAXREWARDS, which is a very great app to manage all of your credit cards and their rewards in a single place. Now, just because a credit card may be designed in a very sleek, sexy, and metal format, that does not mean that you have to be content with your credit limit forever. When you submit your credit card application for the first time and you're squinting your eyes and crossing your fingers really hoping for that approval, at that point it's up to the computer algorithms or maybe even an in-person underwriting team if it goes for further review to determine what type of credit limit you'll get and of course whether you'll be approved in the first place or not. And if you do receive that glorious approval, then your credit limit of course is basically out of your control and it's based on your credit score, the underlying credit factors that make up your score, your debt to income ratio, your income itself, and some other factors as well. And all those numbers get crunched by this internal computer algorithm to say yay or nay for your credit card approval. So that means your credit limit is a reflection of your current level of credit worthiness at a specific moment in time as determined by a financial institution based on your application. So the good news here is that your level of credit worthiness can totally fluctuate over time as your income changes, as your debts decrease, and a whole bunch of other factors as well. Which means if you're currently unhappy with your credit limit on any specific card, remember that's a temporary situation and you can always redeem yourself by requesting a credit limit increase. Now in future videos I may cover how to do credit limit increases with different card issuers, but for the purposes of this video we're going to be going over the Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs. Now typically all you've got to do is call the number on the reverse side of your card, get a representative on the phone and ask them for a credit limit increase. But with the Apple Card things are a little bit different. But if you look at the card, it's very beautiful, but nowhere to be found is there any sort of number to call on the front or the back. So how do you get a credit limit increase with the Apple Card? I'm going to show you right now, after one more drop test. Now to make sure that we do this CLI request properly, I actually found the instruction sheet directly from Apple in terms of how to request a credit limit increase. So I'm going to put it here on the screen for you right now and go over it very quickly. Here's what it says. Request a credit limit increase for Apple Card. To request an Apple Card credit limit increase, you can chat with an Apple Card specialist at Goldman Sachs. How to request an Apple Card credit limit increase. Step 1. On your iPhone, open the Wallet app. Step 2. Tap your Apple Card. Step 3, tap the More button, which is represented by a black circle with 3 white dots in the middle. Step 4, tap the Message button in blue. And step number 5, type a message requesting a credit limit increase, then tap the Send button, there with a gray circle and a white arrow going up. Following that, we have 3 steps that you can take to do the same thing on your iPad, and then below that, we have some very important text that I think you'll find very valuable. It says, Goldman Sachs will consider your payment history with Apple Card and other credit information to determine whether to grant any request for credit limit increases on Apple Card. This means you may need up to 6 months or more of payment history with Apple Card before Goldman Sachs can approve your request for a credit line increase. Now, it did say that you may need 6 months or more of payment history on your Apple Card before submitting your request. So of course the word may is pretty soft. Therefore, it's not a hard requirement, but in general, whether it's Goldman Sachs and the Apple Card or some other card by another issuer, I generally recommend having a card with 6 months of payment history before submitting or requesting a credit limit increase. Now, I got my Apple Card back in early September of 2020, and now we're making this video in early June 2021, so it's been about 9 months that I've had the card. So even though Goldman says that I may need 6 months or more of payment history before I may be eligible for a credit limit increase, I still have to follow my own general recommendations in order to put myself in the most favorable position to get an approval on any request that I may submit. And putting yourself in the most favorable position to get a yes for a new card approval or a credit limit increase approval is of course what this game is all about. And you've got the rewards part of it too. So now that you've been empowered with that context, let's go over to my computer and request this credit limit increase. All right, let's see if we can get a boost in this credit limit. So on the left-hand side of the screen, I've got the Apple Card account pulled up via the web portal. You can do that by going to card.apple.com, by the way. And you can see your balance, your credit limit, all your statements, and even pay online as well, which is great. So you can see here my balance, or excuse me, my credit limit rather, is $12,500. We're going to see if we can get a boost to that limit. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got my Apple Wallet app open right now. So I'll tap on the Apple Card itself, where it shows me at my main dashboard here. And to request a credit limit increase, you actually do it over chat with the Apple/Goldman Sachs customer support. So I'm gonna tap on this three-dot icon right here in the top right. And here is where you can, of course, access and manage your card. But we're going to tap on the message option right over here. And that pulls up the chat with customer support. So what I'm going to do here is type, "Hi, I'd like to request a credit limit increase on my Apple Card." And send that off. And then it says, "Okay, I can help update your income on your Apple Card account and check if you're eligible for credit limit increase." So then it gives me this link down here, tap to get started. I'll go ahead and do that. And let's see what it says. "Credit limit increase, update your annual income to see if your Apple Card limit can be increased. Your credit will not be impacted by this request. This information is required by our bank partner, which is Goldman Sachs, and will not be read by Apple. Continue." Annual income. Please provide your estimated total annual income, including all sources of income, to Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Include shared income not earned by you that is regularly deposited into your individual or joint account. All right, so I'll go ahead and type this in and then click on Done. And then I'll select the review link there in the top right-hand side of the screen. Your responses. Here's how you respond to the form, and then it just shows you the amount that you typed in to make sure that it is accurate. And now I'll go ahead and click on Send. Okay, great. Now it says, "Thanks, just a moment while Goldman Sachs reviews your request." And boom, just like that, good news, your credit limit has been increased to $13,500, which you'll see right away in Wallet, which is the app. You're all set. So just for fun, I'm gonna go back over here to the web portal and refresh this screen. Hey, that's awesome. It does indeed show the updated credit limit of now $13,500. So for me, that was an increase of $1,000 over my previous limit. Success. Overall, I'd say that was the simplest approach that I've ever seen for a credit limit increase request before. So Apple/Goldman Sachs, well done on designing that entire interface and experience for the end user. And of course, I'm also glad that you were able to see an approval for that credit limit increase request so that we can see what that looks like if you get an approval as well. For me, that was $1,000 additional of credit, which of course is not very big. However, every single little bit of increase does count for my overall utilization on my credit score. And in fact, that was one of the main reasons why I decided to do this, other than the fact I wanted to show you how to do it with this card because it's unlike any other card on the market. So of course, the first reason for making this video was of course education, to empower you to get a CLI or a credit limit increase yourself. And the second and more personal reason why I wanted to do this was simply to lower my utilization on the Apple Card and to lower my utilization overall across all of my cards, which may lead to a little bit of a boost in my credit score. And it may lead to a significant boost in your score if you're in the early phases of building your credit, because if you only have a small amount of credit right now and you add a bunch more, then that will really help boost your score overall. And the reason for that is because utilization is one of the most important factors of your overall credit score, making up 30%. And if you break down utilization into two main parts, it's of course your utilization across individual cards and across all of your cards put together. What I'm referring to here is how much of your credit limits are you using. So if you've got a $1,000 limit and you're using $500 of that limit, then that's 50% utilization, which the credit bureaus and card issuers view as pretty high. But if, on the other hand, you have a $5,000 limit and you still have a $500 balance, then you're only using 10%, which the bureaus and the credit card issuers will view as very low and therefore very good. Now, just as a little insider tip here, your utilization is not reported or viewed by the bureaus every single day. So if you have a high balance on a certain day of the week, or perhaps for an entire week, that's not going to tank your score overnight. There are always exceptions, but in general, your balance is actually reported on your statement close date. So if your statement close date is, let's say, the 27th of the month, and you currently have a really big balance, and it's the 23rd of the month, then you may want to consider submitting an early payment 2 to 4 days before that statement closes to bring your balance down and therefore have a lower utilization reported. Then you'll receive your bill, and whatever remaining balance is on that bill, make sure you pay it off entirely by that due date to avoid all interest. And if that was at all confusing and you want a deeper explanation with some really awesome visuals, then I did a separate video on when to pay your credit card bill to boost your credit score, so be sure to watch that one as well for a much more thorough explanation. On the whole, it's a general good practice to work on increasing your credit limits over time while keeping your spending the same, because that will in turn keep your utilization going down over time and your score going up. Also, to provide you with a little more context around my request, the only main thing that changed from my initial application for the Apple Card back in September 2020 to today in June 2021 was my income. Now, of course, my credit score and some underlying factors may be a little bit different today than they were back then as well, but because there was no hard pull for my credit limit increase on the Apple Card, which was pretty cool by the way, then I'm assuming that they did not really look at any additional factors or my most recent score today. So if you run your own business and generated more revenue or more income for yourself, perhaps you might be a student and got your first full-time job or even part-time job as well, or perhaps you got a raise at work, whatever the situation may be, if you now have more money coming your way than you did when you initially got the card, then it could be a good time to consider requesting a credit limit increase, especially if it's been at least 6 months since you first got the card. Also, I can't guarantee that Goldman will always do a soft pull for every credit limit increase. It may depend on your history with them or some other factors that they have in their systems. So if they are going to do a hard pull or a soft pull, they should let you know at some point during the application process, so that way you're informed and can make a right decision based on your situation. Because in the financial world, transparency should always win. With all that said, if you enjoyed today's video and believe it could benefit others, then please help me get it in front of more people by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications. Also, remember to check out those links down below in the description area to view some great credit card offers, to get some additional cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, and to sign up for MAXREWARDS to manage all of your credit cards and their rewards in a single app, and a whole lot more as well. I thank you all for tuning into today's video. I hope it brought you some great value. I'll see you again in future videos, and until then, remember, you are great.